If you're a high achiever that's stuck in a cycle of burnout and you are working yourself to your detriment and to your self-destruction and you know it, but you can't stop, this video is for you. Here's the thing about high achievers. High achievers don't have an on-off button. It's 100% on all the time. No sleep, no rest, not eating well. It is insane. High achievers are different. I tell people all the time, we are different, but we also need the most help, but we won't tell anybody. I want to share some insight with you on what you may be running from and how to break those self-destructive habits. I want you to think about what are some of the things that are holding you back? What are some of the stories that you're telling yourself? And why don't you actually feel successful? Because here's the thing about high achievers. You've run through and you've done all the things and you've checked all the boxes and you have everything that they said you couldn't get, yet you don't feel successful. That is a trauma default response waiting to be explored. And here's the thing about high achievers, and I'm not knocking therapy because a lot of my clients had therapists. Therapists allow you to mentally process the things that are going on, but a lot of times what Gary Zumkov actually talked about in Seed of the Soul was the need for spiritual psychology. So I had 3 therapists before I left my career, and none of them could help me with my self-destructive habits. It's like I'm sitting there, I'm talking for an hour, and I'm digging up all these skeletons, and I'm looking around like, okay, so we're going to unpack these skeletons. Don't send me home to be dancing in a Michael Jackson Thriller video. And so it didn't work fast enough for me. And so only after burning out and starting to put myself together again, what I've done with my clients in the past 6-7 years is spiritual psychology, is unpacking the things that we are emotionally holding on to or we're actually numb to because we're not processing our pain. We don't feel anything, which is why we don't feel successful. We don't feel pain. We don't feel joy. We don't feel happiness. And that's not fair. So it doesn't matter what you achieve. You don't actually feel successful because you don't feel anything. It is interesting. And I love high achievers. I love myself and I love the people that I work with because, again, we need the most help and no one cares when a high achiever is in trouble. Nobody cares when a superhero is in trouble, and people will continue to ask you for things not knowing that you are in trouble. So spiritual psychology is unpacking the things that you refuse to recognize. As I talked about in an earlier video, you are running from something and it's time to stop and unpack it. Beyonce said it best. She said, trying to fix something, but you can't fix what you can't see. It's the soul that needs the surgery. So I want you to think about what is the story that you're running from? And the trauma default response that you have is to continue to work, but that started to work against you. So go ahead and take my trauma default quiz to figure out what's your pattern using the link in the description below, because that's going to give you some insight on what's the pattern that you're stuck in that you need to break. And the easiest way to find that pattern is to take care of yourself. It is to, 1, acknowledge that you are running. Acknowledge that something is wrong. I would say that's the first step. Acknowledge that I probably got some stuff going on that I need to address because I keep burning out. Now, let's start to take care of ourselves. Sleep 3 times a week for 8 hours. Work out 3 times a week for 30 minutes and meditate 3 times a week for 5 minutes. This will give you room. This will give you some clarity. This will be able to allow you to breathe so you can now put some things together in your mind to figure out, what am I really running from? And when you slow down enough, you're able to feel rest, then you're able to feel the rain that hits your face. So now you can think about, how do I really feel about certain things? What is the pattern that I'm stuck in? Who am I still proving wrong? And I've had clients who are 7-figure earners, lawyers, successful, awarded, And they don't feel successful. Why? Because a law professor told them, apparently that's what law professors do, that they would never amount to much and they wouldn't make it as Black women. So here they are as Black women. One can practice law in 5 states, do not feel successful because of what somebody said to her. So she's proven somebody wrong. And once you start to figure out what that pattern is, now change it. Because here's the thing. Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So my client who can practice law in 5 states wanted to get an executive MBA. Why? It's because she didn't feel smart. She didn't feel successful. The other one has a 7-figure, super successful business of tremendous global brand, did not feel successful because she was proving the law professor wrong. So I want to read you something from James Allen in As a Man Thinketh. James Allen said, it's one of the greatest books ever written. It's written in 1900. James Allen said, only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and man could find every truth connected with his being if he would dig deep into the mind of his soul. Spiritual psychology. If he will watch his thoughts, when you slow down enough, you're able to think about, what am I thinking? What am I running from? If he will watch, control, and alter his thoughts, tracing their effects upon himself, upon others, and upon his life and circumstances, linking cause and effect by patient practice and investigation, and utilizing his every experience, even to the most trivial everyday occurrence, as a means of obtaining that knowledge of himself, which is understanding, wisdom, and power. In this direction, as in no other, is the law absolute, that he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be open. So let's go back to it. For only by patience, practice, and ceaseless importunity can a man enter the door of the temple of knowledge. So let me back it up a little bit. If he will watch, control, and alter his thoughts, tracing their effects upon himself, upon others, and upon his life and circumstances. So if you don't believe, because you're proving your law professor wrong, that you belong in a room, if you don't believe that you belong in a room, when you fight to get your seat at the table, you say that they say that you don't belong there, but that's actually your thought. If you will watch, control, and alter your thought, the effects upon yourself, upon others, and upon your life and circumstances, linking cause and effect by patient practice and investigation. So here's the thing. I want you to start to think about, what am I thinking? What scenarios continue to show up again and again and again? How am I creating this for myself? And if you can understand that you are the creator of your circumstances, you will also know that you are the cure. I want you to take control of your fate. And if you're burning out, it's not them, it's you. What are you doing? What are the thoughts that you're thinking that continue to show up in your circumstances and in your relationships? Because once you get the understanding of how you are creating these circumstances, then you can change it. Then you can do something different. Then you can start to tell yourself, like I tell my clients, no, you know what? I am successful. You know what? I am the ish. You know what? I am freaking awesome. And when you change your life from the inside out, everything, and I mean everything, will change in your external circumstances. I want you to own how great you are. I want you to become aware of the thoughts that you are thinking and change it so you can break your habits of burning out and relax into your success, so you can shift from pain and into passion. You can shift from working yourself to depletion into joy. It's not about finishing the race. It's about how you finish. And a lot of us are finishing raggedy. And you deserve better than that. Let me know if you have any questions about what I shared in this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, and your life will never be the same for the best.